And we are live. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Betfair Trader Community's live 30 days of a trader's morning routine. Day 29. Day 29. What a great... This has been so much fun. Can't wait to think up of another idea and hopefully try and do something else, something a little bit different, or keep this going. I've been to the gym this morning, my hands are ruined. Absolutely ruined. So yesterday, I will have a little look. Let's get everything loaded up because I'm a little bit later this morning. I had to go pick some keys up and then wait for somebody to be there because they were not there. So yesterday we identified the Viborg game, Denmark First Division, and the Viborg game, Denmark First Division, and we said, do you know what, 0-0 or 0-1 at half time. It looks like it's going to be a good game. We also went through the stats and we are back. My phone rang. Oh, bloody pauses when it does that. We identified that it did look like Viborg were going to take the lead and go 0-1 up. That's what all the stats look like. And that happened. So it was 0-1 at half time. And then the game did finish 1-2. Viborg won it. There was a goal 47 minutes, so that didn't really give us enough time to get in. Looking at today's sheets, been through. It's quite a busy one actually. I've narrowed it down to 5 games. 5 games really, and I'm gonna just focus on probably a couple of them. I'm going to start with the Swedish Allsvenskan and Ghent. I think that's where I'm going to start. Göteborg versus Sundsvall, is that the one? So Göteborg versus Sundsvall. Average goals in this game 3.15. Half-time scores 25% 0-0, 1-0 20%, 0-1 25%. That drops to 5-0-0. So it looks like 0-0, 1-0 or 0-1 on this one's going to look quite nice. We've got that 3.15 goals as well, average goals. Let's have a look at the overs and the unders. 90% chance of a goal in the second half. When we drop in and look at the head-to-heads, 88% in head-to-heads against these two, which is looking pretty good. Let's look at the averages. Average first goal time is 30 minutes, which is quite nice. And the average second half goals is 1.95. So it's looking like that's going to be quite a nice trade. Let's just drop into the home versus conceded. It's pretty similar. They're sort of level pegging there, 50-50. It's probably going to not look at that too much now because we don't really need to worry about that too much. Deal with different bits and bobs. Plenty of shots on target, plenty of goal attempts. Shots on target actually increase for the home team in the second half, and the same for, it drops slightly for the away team, not a problem. Corners increase, looks good. So that game, I'll write down in the book, is at 6 p.m. Date today is the 26th of the 10th. So it's 6 p.m. and it is Göteborg versus Sundsvall. And if it gets to half time and it's 0-0, 1-0 or 0-1, we're going to look to delay the current score. It's brought to my attention as well yesterday, someone was chatting on Twitter about how that as a strategy, this potentially is a strategy, and how they're seeing other traders use it and tipping people right now. and it's not it's not a strategy that works. It's not if you blanket every potential selection, which is something that I've never said to do that. For me, I've always gone over these selections and said, look, this is just, and I know I reiterate this point so much, this is just an indication. This is that we think this is going to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, so it means that we don't blanket it. We think this might happen, so we're going to build this up, write this down, put it into our trading plan, get all of our notes together, then go and play with this and see if there is actually, this is going to happen, if this is actually going to happen. So I just wanted to reiterate that. Let's have a look at the other game. I was looking at the Ghent game. So we've got Ghent. Half-time scores in the Ghent versus Charles is 0-0, 30%. 1-0, 15, 0-1, 25%. Then that drops to 10, 10 and 10. So the main one I'm going to be looking at here is the 0-0. That's the one I want to see most of. 80% chance of a goal in the second half, 70% when it's half time, when it's head to head, sorry, so I might leave this one alone actually. The first goal on average is scored at 37 minutes. There is 1.75 goals in the second half. Let me have a look at the sequences on this one. I think I know what the sequences will be. The scores versus conceded. I'm going to leave the Ghent one alone. I'm not going to touch the Ghent one. It just doesn't seem like the right kind of trade. It doesn't seem like there's enough screaming out to me to do it. I'll have a look at the game in Switzerland instead. Aarau versus Will. Okay, let's have a little look at that one. Half time, 25%, 0-0. Full time, that drops to 5%. Nice big drop. 3.35 goals on average in these games. Average goal time is scored 32 minutes. Second half, 1.85 goals. Like that. And the percentages, 90% chance of a goal and 90% head to head. So that's another one I quite like the look of. I'm going to do that one. So that's 7 p.m. That's in Switzerland, and it is Aarau, or probably, well, I've definitely said that wrong. Versus Will. It's 7 p.m. kickoff, and at half time, if that is 0-0, then we're going to look to do a lay of the current score. So that's it. I'm going to stop at those two trades today. There is a couple more that I'll pop into the community so that the members have got access to them. I'll share all of my thoughts with you guys there. And let's move this around, take that out. So I'm going to pop them in the community in about 30 seconds or so. So you'll be able to find them there. Lay the current score seems to be around 4-5. Not much money to make with the thought of losing 3-5. Yeah, I don't get in at half time. I do not get in at half time, Tony. I wait. I wait until further on in the match, until the game is heated up. I don't see the value in getting in at half time. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know the impact of the team talk. You genuinely don't know. So for me, I like to wait 10, 15 minutes, let that price come down, then make my decision. Then if I'm laying the draw, if it's 0-0, it's going to be quite low. I can also look to start to drip lay, which is something that I've shared with the members, where I will break my stake up into chunks and then I'll start drip laying at different points. So I reduce my risk, which is just all with clever staking. I'm not putting in all of my stake and then not having that long in the market before I have to get out, or I have to lose all of my stake and then I need 5, 6, 7 trades to get that back. That's not sensible. So yeah, the drip laying works very well for me. One of the members has highlighted drip backing, and that's actually been very, very, very good. So again, same principle, split your stake up and start to drip it in the market. So that's worked quite well. So I wouldn't be an advocate of putting all the money in at half time, boom, go for it. No. Wait, analyse, reduce your risk, split your stake, drop a bit in. That's the way that I would advise you to do that. I'm just gonna drop these into the community in a moment. So does anybody have any questions? Yeah, hopefully, did that help, Tony? Hopefully that helped. The laptop still is not back, but hopefully we get a call today. Does exist. Yes, so hopefully. Thank you. Great, Tony. That's fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I will be dropping them in the community. So if you are on BTC, I'll put them in the football trading thread for you guys. There's quite a few bits and bobs I'll be on today, so I'll be putting that there. But when you are new to it and you cannot afford to drip play, well, you just reduce your stake. You just split your stake into miniature chunks. So if you were going to do a £2 stake, you just split it, you divide that by 5 and then do the little chunks. So you do exactly the same. Well, you don't even need to do £2 if you £2 increments to drip play. If your stake is £2, you can divide that up and then you can use little parts of the £2 to do the same thing. It's exactly the same. Exactly the same process. You don't need loads of money to drip play or to drip back. It's just about using the stake you were going to use, divide it by 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever your preferred method of dripping is. Mine's 5. And then putting that into the market slowly and steadily. And then you're getting at different increments as well. So you might be getting in here where you are. You're getting in here, 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 and here. Sometimes you will miss the goal here, but you've only got that bit there. That's where you make your profit. Sometimes you go the whole way and then you get your goal. So then you get a bit more profit. Sometimes you go all this way and you don't get the goal, but you've only risked that initial stake that you knew you were going to do anyway. Do you like all these bits and bobs? What sort of odds would you look at into it? 2 seconds. 2 seconds, I will pull up one of my drip laying examples for you. I'll just get it loaded up. I've got it in Evernote. I did share all of these on the community, like all of the drip laying staking. Oh, hang on. Suggestion. Sorry. Come on. Okay, so just one example. You start the drip lay at 4.5. So the total liability, for example, this is an example, £25 total liability, okay? £2.86 goes on at 4.5. This is a bit higher. I'll start with lower one. I'll start with a lower one. So exactly the same liability, 25 quid. Total stake on that is £17.78. So liability 25 quid, stake is 17.78. The average odds are 2.48. How great is that? Because you're taking average odds because you're entering here and dripping in between. So your average odds are lower. So you put £4 on at 3.5. Then there's 15, and that's £10 liability. Then the next liability, the next time you put a bet in, a trade in, sorry, is £1.32 at £2.9. Then another, that's £2.50 liability. Then the next one is £1.56 at 2.6, £2.50 liability. Then it's £1.92 at 2.3, £2.50 liability. Then you've got £2.46, 2.02 at 2.02. Then £2.94 at 1.85. Again, all of those are £2.50 liability. Then you've got £3.58 at 1.7. So that's just a way of being in the market for a good period of time and keeping your liability fixed and having some good exposure to the market. So hopefully that was quite insightful stuff. So cannot afford to anything when you just ship hopefully in the future. Thanks for your great videos. Very informative and a newbie. Yes, I'm always happy to help, Tony. So if you do have, I'll tell you what, Tony, send me an email, info@betfairtrainingcommunity.com, and I'll email you that one I've just gone through, so you don't have to listen to me blabbling on again and start pulling back and doing all these things. So you can just go for it. I'll email that over to you. Cool. Note down, that should be. Oh, wicked, fantastic. So that's about it today, guys. That's why I love these videos, because so Tony asks a question, I get to just really delve into a topic and actually help somebody. That's amazing. That's made my day. Yeah, so have a fantastic weekend trading. Careful with whatever you're getting up to. Enjoy yourself. I know that I'm going for a meal tonight. There's a bit of an event on, so there'll be some red wine. So that'll be good. And then we'll get some football on. And I will be back Monday for the last 30 days. Wow. I might do a recap after as well on Tuesday. Just go through what's happened. So if anyone has learnt anything, please email me, info@betfairtrainingcommunity.com, or get me on Twitter. I'm going to get it right this time, @BetfairTC. And I'll compile some of those up and we'll do a bit of a video on it. Have a fantastic weekend, guys, and I will speak to you very, very soon.